So in front here we have the little pile that was left over from last year, and in the back we have our full load.
Looks like we're going to be able to pass most of this wood through the wood processor, because the wood processor can handle the wood up to 16 inches. So the majority of this looks like it's 16 and lower. So it should be alright. So we're going to remove the chain and the blade. So it's going to be a lot easier to sharpen. And we'll look at lowering the rakers and get it ready for the season. Because as you've seen, we received a load of firewood. And we need to have the blade nice and sharp to be able to cut that.
Oh, you have to take the two out?
Yeah, I'll take the two out.
And that's how she comes off.
So we'll put this back on here temporarily so we don't lose nothing. There we go. So we'll clean that off, sharpen the chain, we'll put her back on. Well, if you were watching, you'll see that when I first started out, the file had a hard time getting through the tooth here. And as you get the shape of the file back into the tooth, the file starts sliding through much easier. And as you see, it removes quite a bit of the underburden of the tooth, which allows the saw to keep its path open. And later we're going to lower the raker, which will allow the saw to dig into the wood more, so that it's more effective. And what's important when you're sharpening your saw is that you keep the same angle all throughout. What I do is, I've been doing it for a while, is I follow the guideline on the back of the last tooth. We'll show you a little later. You'll see on top of the tooth, it has a line. You just continually try to follow that as your guide. Now, many other people may have other ways of doing it, but this is how I've been doing it. And I've been doing it since I was about, I guess, 15 or 16. My uncle showed me how to do it. And I've been doing it that way ever since, and I've never had any problems with my saws. I've been cutting wood all my life. So here's your guideline. And this is the angle you want to try and follow. You want to try and get your file to follow that angle all throughout. You want to have it following the top of your blade, cleaning the top of that tooth nice and square with the blade, the file I should say, and it allows for a nice clean cut into the wood. So I don't know if you can see this, but this is a machine sharpened tooth. If you can see just somewhat of a zigzag in it, compared to this tooth here that I just sharpened with the file, which is nice and round now. That's how you know when they're machine sharpened. Zigzagging them. And hand file sharpened. And when you're sharpening, you want to try and remember to keep your file as level as possible with the chain. So your tooth, you're not ending up with the tooth sharp on one side or the other. You want to have it a nice flat, even stroke going through to make a nice clean cut on the saw. Now, like I said, there's many people do it different ways, so to each their own. Do it the best way you can, I guess. So when I lower my rakers, I just take the flat file and I do 3 full strokes here. And I don't know if you can see this. I'll bring the camera over a little closer for you. All I'm doing is just removing the top of the tip of it. And if you see on the other one how it's rounded, all I'm doing is removing the top small portion of it to allow the tooth to dig into the wood a little more. Now I'll do that on all these teeth, all throughout the chain. And by counting 3 strokes, well, I'm keeping it fairly close to the same amount of filing on each tooth. So the saw shouldn't dig in more in one place than another. It should be fairly even. Yeah, it should be consistent. That's a good word.
Put it in the hole. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.